Going to the cinema is like returning to the womb. You sit there, still and meditative in the darkness, waiting for life to appear on the screen. No matter what happens, always keep your childhood innocence. It's the most important thing. You exist only in what you do. It is only when I am doing my work that I feel truly alive. Experience is what you get while looking for something else. Our minds can shape the way a thing will be because we act according to our expectations. There is abundant testimony that if we choose love rather than self, we gain immeasurably. If you do what you were born to do, I think you will never grow old. Never trust a woman who doesn't like to eat. She is probably lousy in bed. I claim the right to contradict myself. I don't want to deprive myself of the right to talk nonsense, and I ask humbly to be allowed to be wrong sometimes. Reality. But what does this word mean? Each has his own reality. I draw upon my personal reality upon the dark side of myself, my unconscious. Talking about dreams is like talking about movies, since the cinema uses the language of dreams. Years can pass in a second, and you can hop from one place to another. It's a language made of image. And in the real cinema, every object and every light means something. It's easier to be faithful to a restaurant than it is to a woman. A different language is a different vision of life. There is no end. There is no beginning. There is only the passion of life. I don't believe in total freedom for the artist. Left on his own, free to do anything he likes, the artist ends up doing nothing at all. If there's one thing that's dangerous for an artist, it's precisely this question of total freedom, waiting for inspiration and the rest of it. A created thing is never invented, and it is never true, it is always and ever itself. The medium between his fantasies and the rest of the world. Money is everywhere, but so is poetry. What we lack are the poets. Real religion should be something that liberates men. But churches don't want free men who can think for themselves and find their own divinity within. When a religion becomes organized, it is no longer a religious experience, but only superstition and estrangement. A good opening and a good ending make for a good film provided they come close together. God may not play dice, but he enjoys a good round of trivial pursuit every now and again. Realism is a bad word. In a sense, everything is realistic. I see no line between the imaginary and the real. No critic writing about a film could say more than the film itself, although they do their best to make us think the opposite. Even if I set out to make a film about a fillet of soul, it would be about me. Censorship is advertising paid by the government. Nietzsche claimed that his genius was in his nostrils, and I think that is a very excellent place for it to be. Hype is the awkward and desperate attempt to convince journalists that what you've made is worth the misery of having to review it. Fate is written in the face.